Let's see. Hello, everybody, and welcome to another Kansas Missing and Unsolved podcast. I'm your host, Ricky Tabruggi, and joining me again tonight, Hope. How you doing, Hope?
I'm doing great. How are you?
No, I'm doing. About all I can do.
Yeah.
So what's new? You said that there was a located deceased this week, and then what's new as far as national wise missing persons stuff? Is there any big cases going on right now, Ricky?
I really haven't heard much on the national front. Not too much, really. I've been trying to follow a few cases here and there, and I haven't really seen any new developments. So we're trying.
What was it? I haven't followed it at all, but there was that case right before about a year and a half, 2 years ago. The wife that went missing and the husband found the bike on the road, and everybody thought it was suspicious. I think Colorado.
Suzanne Morphew, yeah.
Yeah, what happened with that?
They did eventually find her remains. He still hasn't been charged in it or anything yet, I don't believe. So I don't know for sure. I'll have to research that one, but yeah. Last I knew.
Wow.
Excuse me.
Well, we are sharing things all over social media, trying to get some people here. If you are watching,
Cool.
Please share the show with your friends. Share it on your social media. We are live on Ricky's Facebook, my personal Facebook. We're on Kansas Missing and Unsolved on Facebook. Most importantly, we're also on me and Ricky both have YouTube pages that we're all over the place. So if wherever you're watching us, please share the show to anybody you know. We're going to try to solve some cases tonight.
I do apologize for my absence last week with my at work. I got a new department manager, and it made my schedule all wonky because she was on vacation. So I had to work last Wednesday. So thank you guys for covering until I could get back this week. Hopefully we got this straightened out again, because I talked to the new department manager about it and told her what the previous department manager was doing to help me be able to be off to do the show every Wednesday night. So hopefully we get that ironed out.
Yeah, I don't know. I can't speak for Hope. I was pretty nervous that you weren't going to be here, but we had like a really good time.
We did.
The audience was awesome. It was cool.
Yeah, I haven't had a chance to go back and watch the whole episode yet. I need to finish doing that.
Yeah. We didn't have any technical difficulties
for a little bit, and she was playing it on her phone while I was driving. So,
yeah.
But she was like busy scanning up and down the whole episode. She wasn't letting it play through. She was just kind of scrolling through, listening to different parts. I'm like, I need to listen to the whole thing.
Yeah. Ricky, I don't know if you're interested, but we here at Back Home Media, we've been going to the trials. Well, it's just hearings for the missing moms case. The two ladies went missing in March here close to Elkhart, and they found their bodies like 2 weeks. 2 weeks later. Veronica and Jillian. Were you familiar with that case? And they were just missing, Ricky?
I'm having a hard time hearing you there, but can you repeat that for me, please?
The two missing moms, they were missing moms.
Oh, yeah.
So all of us here at Back Home Media have been following that case. We've been going to the trials, and me and Norm from In the Free Zone with Norm, we went to the trial of last week, and we have uploaded it's like about a 20-minute video of me and him just driving home from trial and kind of explaining everything that's going on. But the last trial we went to was on the 17th, and they had basically, starting that day, all of the defense attorneys and basically the prosecutors were just now being given information, the discovery. There's 4 terabytes of data that they're all being sent. So the reason I bring it up is because we do the show together, and it's really easy to get discouraged if you have a loved one missing and you don't hear anything from the police for a long time. I just want to assure you that they're working. Their work, it takes a long time to piece together all the puzzle pieces and get it in working fashion. And you always got to remember that the state has one shot to prosecute somebody and they don't want to miss. You know, when you only have one shot, you really need to set your shot up. So if you're interested, Ricky, I could send you some of the videos that kind of keep up with that case. But I wanted to point that out because they went missing. Me and Hope both know around these parts, like a lot of people will tell you that stuff gets swept under the rug and all that. But I promise, like here, they found them in 14 days. They had them behind bars. So
Right.
really, really proud of the Oklahoma Police Department, the Oklahoma Bureau of Investigation. They're knocking it out of the park right now. And
Right.
we're covering that case, but it's also getting some nationwide coverage. So just make sure everybody's following. You can basically just go to YouTube and type in like Veronica and Jillian missing moms, and you can see Nancy Grace cover it. You can see anybody cover it. Real quickly, though, shameless plug, I think we're doing the best job.
Absolutely.
All right. No, I did a flyer for, I remember we'll be covering his flyer later on in the show, but I was making it for, I was re-updating it and reposting it for his mom because she messaged me and said that asked me if I could remove the located safe because he was only located for a very short time and then he went missing again. And so I got the flyer running and rolling, rocking and rolling again and stuff. And at one point in our conversation on Messenger, she was saying, "Thank you so much. You'll never understand how much moms like me appreciate all you do, but I hope people tell you that frequently." So, no, I try, I do the best I can.
Well, I made a comment last week since you weren't here and you couldn't stop me, but I just want to thank you on behalf of media outlets. I'm a small media outlet. I do utilize your flyers. If you Google any missing person and there's a flyer that Ricky made for it, chances are that every news station has just downloaded it and repurposed it. Ricky does this for free, folks, and I just know how the world works. If you see one of Ricky's flyers on a large website, they're making money. So yeah, like I want to thank you, Ricky, for doing what you do, because I do know that's like what you just got, that message you just got is worth more than any amount of money anybody would hand you. And I know that's true about you. But I also know that you have bills and stuff. So I just appreciate that you do this day in and day out while knowing people are willfully making money off of your hard work, and you still do it. A lot of people would say, I'm not going to do it anymore, but I just really appreciate it.
Yeah. I do want to kind of put a teaser out there a little bit. I kind of talked to you guys a little bit about it before the show, but I don't want to make any formal announcements yet. But just want to say, stay tuned to the show for the next couple of weeks or so, because we got a surprise coming, guys.
I'm excited.
It's going to be wild. It's pretty wild stuff.
Yeah. Oh, my brother just popped in. We're in trouble.
Stephanie, you can also pin some comments if you see them. Stephanie Relaford is she's on the show. Her camera's not on and her mic is muted. I was telling the audience, I was telling the two hosts here, if you hear Stephanie speak on this podcast, things are going bad at Back Home Media. we're putting out a fire. So she is in the room and she can pin comments. But Ricky, we're gonna go ahead and get started. Cynthia Renee Gonzalez, go ahead and read the flyer, and then you and
Let me. About that. That's one I've got to go in and find really quickly. I had to restart my computer before the show because the stupid thing was acting up, and everything I had pulled, I lost. So,
well,
it's been one of those kind of days, I guess. I don't know.
Well, I mean, if anything went right, it wouldn't be a Back Home Media show.
Right.
Right.
Absolutely.
Right. Am I in the right folder? I thought I was in the right folder.
Let's just say Stephanie's really good at putting fires out backstage, everybody. They break out often.
Very often.
Sorry about that. Sorry, folks.
While you're looking,
difficulties, man. Sometimes they get you.
While you're looking, Ricky, Arlington, Texas. That's like basically Dallas, right?
It's Fort Worth.
Fort Worth. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I found it. Okay. Yeah, Cynthia Renee Gonzalez. This was back on September 22nd, 1991 in Arlington. Yeah. She was reported missing to the Arlington Police Department on September 22nd, 1991. Cynthia's body was discovered in a creek bed off County Road 313 in Johnson County, Texas. It was later determined that Cynthia died from multiple gunshot wounds. Cynthia was reportedly at her apartment with her boyfriend when her husband stopped by to deliver their daughter for a weekend visit. Sometime later, Cynthia left for an appointment without her customary bodyguard, and she was never seen again. Serial killer Kenneth Allen McDuff was looked at in connection with Cynthia's death. Jim Ford, longtime Arlington police officer and renowned homicide investigator, had looked at McDuff in connection with Cynthia's case for going on 18 years. He was never able to make a match or a mismatch. McDuff was believed to have abducted the victim from a car wash in Austin. Cynthia's car, a two-seat Pontiac Fiero, was seen parked at a car wash in Arlington the day she disappeared. There were similarities in the Austin case. In Cynthia's case, he kidnapped, sexually assaulted, and killed his victim at a car wash in Austin. He dumped the bodies of several of his victims in rural areas. He killed several victims by shooting them. He was also known as the broomstick killer because some of his victims he actually raped with a broomstick handle. So there's that. But investigators could not place McDuff in the Arlington area and could not determine whether he was out on the streets at that time, but could not find him as being incarcerated at that time either. Other persons of interest have come up and have been cleared as well. McDuff has since been ruled out by DNA testing. If you have any information regarding Cynthia's death, please contact. And I know we have a different detective at 817-459-5772. I keep meaning to change that name, and I keep forgetting to do it, so forgive me. If you wish to remain anonymous and possibly receive a reward of up to $1,250, call the Toronto County, Texas Crime Stoppers at 817-469-8477 and see if we can't help get justice for Cynthia and her family. Whew. That's a dandy case. Yeah, Cowboys actually playing Arlington, and they moved from Irving.
Right.
And I'm seeing stories rumoring that Jerry Jones is thinking about selling the Cowboys to Saudi Arabia or somebody in Saudi Arabia. I don't know if there's any truth to that, but I've seen that headline pop up a couple times.
Right. I don't ever keep up with football news. I'm a Cowboys fan, but I don't.
Me too. Yeah, Detective Stafford, thank you, Heather, for that, because I have to change that on the doggone flyer. I keep meaning to do that, and I keep forgetting to do that. So somebody's gonna have to whip me into shape on that.
As your talent manager, Hope, I can't have you saying that you're a Cowboys fan on the microphone.
Must be talking about Patrick Hubbard, I'm guessing, and I have not heard anything on Patrick Hubbard. Hello, Ellen from Leavenworth. Yeah, the last few days I've been just making flyers left and right, it seems like.
Yeah, I noticed that.
Even when I'm at work, I'm getting emails at work, and it's like, okay, as soon as I can get home from work, I'll get right on them. I do apologize for the delay, and I always apologize for the delay because I hate making them wait. I really do.
Ricky, so let's pretend like, okay, I'm just curious for the audience's sake, and I've never asked you. Say that you get this picture of Kenny Wright-Check and they give you all this information. How long does it take you to make a flyer?
With that much information, it would probably run me about 20 to 30 minutes.
Jeez, man.
And of course, I've updated it a few times by adding the Crime Stoppers information and whatnot at the bottom too. So, because originally I didn't have that, I just had the Salina Police Department and the KBI, and that was it. And then I decided maybe people would be willing to speak up if I gave them an anonymous way to put their tips in there, but obviously that hasn't helped yet. I keep hoping.
Yeah.
I was thinking about, going to Haley Davis's vigil at night, Saturday night, just kind of got me to thinking about doing some kind of a vigil just for the missing persons in Saline County in general, just to, get them all out there. But I don't know how long that would all entail and how long it would take me to do something like that. But anywho, this one's Kenny Wright-Check, been missing from here in Salina since November 4th, 2019. I'm coming up on 5 years here pretty soon. He was 69 when he was missing. He's now 74. He was 5'9", 175 pounds, gray hair, blue eyes. He does sometimes use the last name Brown. He does suffer from diminished mental health capabilities, and he's on disability, but has not tried to access the funds since he was last seen. He may have family in northwest Kansas, possibly around the Colby area. He was last seen at the Gospel Mission here in Salina. He left there and hasn't been seen or heard from since then. He does not have a phone, a vehicle, or any ID. His mode of transportation was a bicycle. He rode and pushed that thing all around town, picking up scrap metal to sell. At the time of his disappearance again, he was 69. He's now 74. He's 5'9", weighs about 175 pounds, has gray hair and blue eyes. you have any information regarding Kenny's disappearance or you know of his whereabouts, please call the Salina, Kansas Police Department at 785-826-7210 or Crime Stoppers at 785-825-8477, or you can text SA Tips to Crimes, which is 274637, or visit www.pd.salina.org and follow the Crime Stoppers link to submit your tip that way, or you can call the KBI at 785-296-4017. And let's see if we can get Kenny located and back to where he needs to be. I know there's a lot of people worried about him, thinking about him, asking me about him. You know, it's kind of crazy.
Yeah, it's sad and crazy, you know. I mean,
Yeah.
just up and be gone.
Yeah. Oh my goodness, my brother's comments has been a great night here in Salina. PD is currently on the scene of what apparently has been a standoff. Fire department just turned the scene over to PD. Not a lot of detail available at the moment. Oh my goodness.
Wow.
It's a hot time in the old town tonight. Tell me what movie I got that one from.
It's been so long since I've watched movies, I couldn't tell you.
That was the from the first Batman movie with Jack Nicholson and Michael Keaton. It was a line that Jack Nicholson used.
Okay.
Let's see. Did I pull her? Yes, I did. Tanisha Golden. Been missing from Russell, Kansas since June 3rd of this year. She's 34, 5'6", 190 pounds. Her hair is black, but dyed an unknown color. Brown eyes. It's believed that she's with an adult male. And it's believed she may either be in Missouri, Oklahoma, or Arkansas, as she has ties there. And she's 34, 5'6", weighs 190 pounds, has black hair that may be dyed under an unknown color, and brown eyes. She has a horizontal piercing under her right eye, a lip piercing on her bottom lip on the left side. She has a tattoo across her chest that reads, I guess it's Muskogee Creek Native, and a cross on her right wrist. If you have any information regarding Tanisha's disappearance or you know her whereabouts, please call the Russell, Kansas Police Department at 785-483-2121 or KBI at 785-296-4017. And see if we can help get Tanisha located and back to where she needs to be. I know there's people worried about her and wanting her to be found, and trying to do all that we can to help that. Yeah.
Sorry, I'm trying to get comfortable over here.
We're rehauling the studio.
Okay.
We're almost there, but we're not quite there yet.
Yeah, hopefully she's all right wherever she's at, and hopefully we can help get her found. As with all of these folks tonight. Yeah, that's
Right.
another one I'll find real quick. Let's see. Give me 2 seconds. That's another one of the ones I lost when I rebooted my dumb computer.
You're fine.
Yeah, it's in the other folder, of course. Give me just a second here. I like it when I had everything pulled and ready to rock and roll, and we started having technical problems and had to reboot.
Yep, that's the way it goes.
It's always
I
something.
did look up the missing juveniles and adults in Kansas, and the juveniles is 232, and we have 419 adults missing.
Good
now.
gravy. That's what. Say it again. 419 adults and how many kids?
232.
Wow. That is 651 total.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
You know,
Okay.
it's crazy and scary.
Yeah. And here's Olivia Robbins, which I just noticed recently. She commented on her flyer. Missing from Wichita, Kansas since June 10th, 2024. She's 17. She's 5'6", 130 pounds, brown hair and brown eyes. It's believed she may be with an adult male, and they may be in a golden or champagne-colored Ford F-150 extended cab truck pictured below. She is 17, 5'6", 130 pounds, brown hair, brown eyes. She has a rose tattoo on her left forearm, and her ears are pierced. If you have any information regarding Olivia's disappearance or you know her whereabouts, please call the Wichita, Kansas Police Department at 316-660-9456 or 316-660-9452 or 316-263-6011. or KBI at 785-296-4017, and see if we can't help get Olivia located and back to where she needs to be.
Did you say she commented on her flyer?
Yeah, she did comment on her flyer, and yeah, it was interesting to say the least. I'd have to go
I
back and pull it up, but yeah, I read it the other night and I was like, oh brother. Basically, her and another person are trying to downplay that she's missing and saying that everybody knows where she's at, but my understanding is nobody can nail down a location where she is at. So, and she is listed as missing, so hence we're covering her.
Right. 17. I remember what it was like to be 17. Didn't want
Yeah.
anybody telling me what to do.
Yeah. I'll tell you my favorite one though we've had on since we've been doing this show was one night we were getting ready to cover a kid, and all of a sudden he starts commenting on the show while we're doing the show, and Derek starts addressing him, and it says, hey, you're 17, you just need to go back and take care of things what you need to take care of, and you're almost done, and this and that. And
absolutely.
And eventually the kid, he started kind of almost doing a play-by-play. Says, well, I've called the police are here, I'm in the police car. And so I get on I switch over to another window, pull up KBI, and sure enough, he was off KBI at that point. And then I got confirmation email telling me that, yeah, he was definitely found. And I was like, holy crap. Turned himself in live on the show. Yeah. That doesn't happen
That is
too. I
way
mean, that's
cool.
only been one time that's happened. But I thought that was pretty cool.
It would be nice if all the kids, well, any
Yeah.
of them, would be able to call in or do comments or anything, just so everybody knows that they're okay, at least.
Just goes to show you that what we do works,
Absolutely.
whether it be by just sharing flyers or doing the show, and it does work.
Yeah.
I don't know if you can hear my daughter giggling over there, but my daughter's over in my bed giggling.
Hope's got more details than me, but there's a pretty big missing persons case going on, it looks like.
Didn't quite understand you, Derek.
There's a new case in New Hampshire.
Oh, wow.
Okay.
It looks like it's in connection to like a Connecticut case or something like that.
Massachusetts.
Oh, a Massachusetts case.
Missing persons case. Kids and
canines and drones.
Oh, okay.
I don't know how our producers don't know how to write.
I can't read.
Well, I just kind of got a glimpse of it, but basically what it looks like is there's a bunch of police using canines and drones, and they're in New Hampshire, but it's in regards to a missing Massachusetts case.
Okay.
And, but the police are not releasing which case they're investigating, but it's it came. I have like certain keywords set up to like if they come across the Simi news stories. That's a pretty fresh story, and it's I just Googled it, and there's a ton of big outlets covering it. So I'm curious to know who's missing in Massachusetts that they might be looking for.
Absolutely.
Interesting. I have to keep my ears open on that one, see if I can run across anything. Oh,
sorry, I have a hard time reading, and then Derek's handwriting doesn't help.
I wrote it really quick and handed it over.
Yeah, poor old buddy Alex Perez, man. We've been covering him since day one, practically, almost 4 years ago. Yeah, been missing from Ulysses, Kansas since December 1st, 2020. He was 35 when he went missing. He's now 38. He's 5'11", 235 pounds, black hair that he shaves nearly bald, and brown eyes. He had called a family member on the phone on December 1st and said he'd be coming over to do laundry. He never arrived at the family member's home in Ulysses, and he's not been heard from or seen by family or friends since then. He had been staying with family and friends prior to his disappearance. It's believed that Alexander may still be in the local Ulysses area, or he may be in the Garden City, Kansas area. Again, at the time of his disappearance, he was 35. He's now 38. He's 5'11", weighs 235 pounds, has black hair that he shaves nearly bald, and brown eyes. Has a tattoo of a bumblebee on his face underneath his left eye. Has Perez tattooed on one of his arms, and he has a tattoo of a cross on a chain across his chest. And if you have any information regarding Alexander's disappearance or you know his whereabouts, please call the Grant County, Kansas Sheriff's Office at 620-356-3500, or the Ulysses, Kansas Police Department at 620-356-4600. or the KBI at 785-296-4017. And see if we can't get Alex located and back to his family. He needs to come home. It's been way too long.
Way too long. Ulysses isn't very far from here. And
Right.
it's not, I mean, it's a big town, but not like a huge town. And it's just crazy the things that can go on in these small towns and all over the world. But, in Kansas, when you see something that's close to home, it makes you worry.
Yeah, definitely. I get worried about the ones missing from here in town because it's like, okay, where'd they go?
Right. One
thing I wanted to say is, we have that voicemail. I don't know if it's on the thing. I can look it up, but basically, it's no secret that Alexander was mixed up in some bad stuff there towards the end, and I've been talking to a lot of families of missing people or people that are involved with like suspicious deaths and stuff like that. And one thing that like keeps to be like a reoccurring theme is a lot of the people that I realize that I'm looking into where it looks like they were probably informants. And to me, like nobody sets out to be an informant. Like you get in trouble and then your freedom or your ability to see your kids or your wife or husband goes away and you're willing to do anything to protect your family. But sadly, as soon as you start, what the streets call snitching, you're potentially your days could be numbered, So like the reason I'm kind of going on this rant is there's a bunch of reasons why you shouldn't get mixed up in the drug world, but being forced to be a narc is one of the biggest reasons why you should stay the hell away from it. Because it's just You don't want scary people leery of you.
Absolutely. I mean,
when I was living flares, I did see you still have the call over there and the thing over there, so it's still there. But yeah, we all know there was an arrest made in this case, and I haven't heard much on how the case is advancing since that arrest, but keep hoping to see something at some point.
Right. The sad thing about that kind of lifestyle is, they'll tell you you're going to go to prison or we're going to take your kids, whatever, and you fall for it, and they just hang you out to dry because once you testify, they don't care no more, and that's the sad part. You're not in protection, nothing no more.
Yeah, they did arrest. My brother is asking when they're in arrest in this case. Yeah, they arrested a 44-year-old Oscar Krause of Garden City on a warrant for second-degree murder connected to his death. So, yeah.
And his property was searched multiple times before an arrest was made.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I remember I got frustrated because the second time they searched his property, a small news publication, like very much the same size as Back Home Media, was announcing that they had found bodies out there. So obviously the whole town of Garden City was really excited about it. And it really offended me that, one, it was bad reporting, but two, it's like the Kansas Missing Unsolved page, Kelsey Youngblood, like all kinds of people have been screaming at the top of their lungs, hey, this person's missing for 3 years and nobody cared. And now all of a sudden you hear these keywords, these body and located and murder, and all of a sudden like it really made me upset with Garden City as a community. I mean, it's not their fault, but I was like, no, like this guy's been missing for years. Right. For years, so if you're gonna at least care about it, at least report on it properly, because I'm sure that Alexander's family would love to know where his physical body is. They still don't.
Yeah, no, they still haven't found Alex's body yet. As far as I know, there hasn't been any, he hadn't revealed where the body was at or anything like that. But yeah, I remember we were talking about though when people, they found multiple bodies and this and that, and I was like, okay. But, they searched the area, but they apparently didn't find anything. So
no.
Hopefully, at some point, somebody will speak up and say, "Hey, you can find him here or there or whatever." But yeah, I agree, Diane. That family does deserve closure, definitely.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Dana Jane Bruce, another one we've been covering religiously for a very long time too. She's missing from Sedalia, Missouri since October 4th, 2008. She was 23 when she was missing. She's now 39. She's 5'2", weighs 98 pounds, has brown hair and green or hazel eyes. She went to, excuse me, Dana was last seen at her children's babysitter's home in Sedalia. She had left the children there earlier that day so she could go out for the evening. She returned at midnight and gave the babysitter more money and asked her to watch the children for the rest of the night. Dana was seen at Malone's Bar on Main Street with a young man driving a late model red Ford F-150 truck earlier on the night of her disappearance. She left with the man at 11:30. Police have identified the man Dana was with on the night she vanished. He traveled to Atlanta, Georgia after her disappearance, and police questioned him about Dana after he was arrested there on unrelated charges of marijuana possession and driving on a suspended license. Authorities have not named him publicly, but they are calling him a person of interest in her case. He told his questioners that he and Dana parted ways after they left the bar, and he never saw her again after that. She left all of her belongings behind, including her hairbrush, toothbrush, credit cards, debit cards. She doesn't have credit cards, debit cards, checking account, cell phone, or a car. And again, at the time of her disappearance, she was 23. She'd now be 39. She's 5'2", weighs 98 pounds, has brown hair that was colored brown at the roots, black at the ends with red highlights, and green or hazel eyes. She was last known to be wearing a black shirt with the word Rebel and silver lettering on the front and blue jeans. Dana has a tattoo of a teddy bear with wings and the name Dylan on her upper left arm. She is blind in her left eye. She has a 2-inch scar along her lower spine and a staple scar on her right shoulder. Her ears are pierced one time each. If you have any information regarding Dana's disappearance, you know her whereabouts, please call the Sedalia, Missouri Police Department at 660-827-7823 or 660-826-8100 or the Missouri State Highway Patrol at 573-526-6178 or toll free at 866-362-6422 and see if we can't get Dana located and back to her family. And I know they've been waiting a long time to get her found. This is back in October 2008, so we're basically talking about 16 years just about. So
it's 5,772 days that her family hasn't seen her.
Yeah, that's a long time. Yep. And Heather with Justice for Cynthia for Renee Gonzalez. Have you heard of the missing 3 women out of a small town in Missouri, which would be Springfield, Missouri, and being known as the Springfield 3? Matter of fact, I was just watching a video about them night before last. So yeah,
Ricky, me and Ricky and Ricky's brother did a project on that, and we recorded it. We could repurpose that, but unless you guys wanted to tweak it, because that's been a couple years, but you did. Remember, we did like a 15-minute video, standalone video on the Springfield 3. Was that the same case?
Let's see. It was Susie Streeter. Little brother, help me out here. I remember the Suzanne Streeter. What's the other two names in the Springfield 3? It was Suzanne's mom, and then McCall was the other gal's last name, Streeter's friend. My brother's reporting that there was a report of a fatality in tonight's stand-up in Salina, and Diane verified that, saying there was a code black, which is death, yes. We were talking about Alexander Perez, Cheyenne. Oh, yes. I keep meaning, I got to figure out where I can add that on her flyer. What was the reward amount again, Ellen, for Dana? They went to, okay, $2,000 reward for information leading to Dana Bruce's whereabouts. So I will try to work that onto the flyer if I can, because there's a lot of information on there. So I'll have to see if I can figure out where to put that on there. There's a little bit of room down there, not much, but a little bit. And I'll see if I can't squeeze it. Suzanne Streeter, Stacy McCall, and Cheryl Levitt. Cheryl Levitt was Suzanne Streeter's mother, and Stacy McCall, basically a lifelong friend of Suzanne Streeter's. And that is an interesting case. Yes, there at one point they were thinking, or it would come out they were possibly buried under a hospital parking garage. They had a guy come in with ground penetrating radar and go over that area, and he found 3 anomalies that would be consistent with people being buried there. But for whatever reason, the city and the police department are refusing to dig that part of the garage up to refute or verify whether there's anything there. So, yeah. And there's a guy down in Texas that's incarcerated that he got a hold of media and claimed that he knew for a fact they were dead. He knew for a fact that where they were buried. Would not reveal that, and said he would not reveal it until his mother had passed away. So,
Wow.
yeah, very interesting case.
So I'm not trying to discount that that's like that they're not buried there, but I don't. Again, maybe somebody in our audience is a construction worker, but I'm thinking like if you're going to build something like a parking garage, that they would have to do like some massive amount of digging just to level the ground and everything. So like I don't know, like if that's true, then somebody that like knew that they were building a hospital garage there would kind of have to like that. I don't know, because to me, I don't know. Maybe somebody in the audience is a construction worker. To me, I think that would be easily found. You know, like if they because every time I see them build something in Kansas, like they level the ground. There's a lot of digging before they build anything.
And it's odd that you say that because they're getting ready to start building a pretty large apartment complex behind where I work at Menards, and that's what they've been doing for the past probably 2-3 weeks is bringing in dirt, leveling it out, bringing more in, leveling it out.
So there could be
also what you were saying too. That was what the police is thinking were too. Is that at the time they would have been buried there would have been no garage, but since they had to clear it, level it, and everything, that if there would have been bodies buried there, they would have found them. That's what the police are saying in Springfield. Wow. So, yeah. So there is some legitimacy to that. Yes.
And then there's also the like again, just speculate, but maybe the guy who ran the excavator put the like it is possible, but yeah, I think that a lot of people would know. Go ahead and read that comment. I hope you said.
Which one?
Cheyenne Yoder.
What did she say?
She asked if we ever worked with Annette Lawless.
I have. Her and I have exchanged information on several cases since she started doing missing in Kansas, and she's been on our show once. So yeah, we've worked together.
Annette Lawless is rad. And when it comes to missing people in Kansas, she's up there.
A good person with a big heart. She really is.
Yeah, very powerful person. She's got missing persons flyers in front of a lot of eyes.
And this is Dennis. Hey Dennis, how you doing? I'm doing pretty good.
I want to put that back up there. Everybody, if you do have a YouTube account, just that's his account right there. Just search for Muddy Waters Search and Recovery. It's Dennis. He does live streams. He also does what his name says as far as missing persons and stuff. Go give him a follow, subscribe to him, watch 5 of his videos, leave 5 comments. Great group of people over there at Muddy Waters.
Yeah, he's been doing ground searches and they do water searches. He's got a boat set up with sonar and everything on it so they can do water searches. And I know he's planning on, he's got some searches coming up that he's planning on. One of them is for, Chance. Yeah, I can't remember his last name, up there missing in Nebraska. He's going to be doing a search for him. And yeah, it's a bad deal that they did fire her. No explanation as to why either. I mean, I know she hadn't done anything wrong. I mean, I've known her for quite some time. We've communicated a lot over the last several years since she started doing missing in Kansas and stuff. So I know. I mean, matter of fact, they just had an Emmy Awards thing here. Was it this last week? I think it was. She won 2 Emmys.
I think it'll be a situation where, because I think Annette Lawless is nowhere near finished doing what she was put on this earth to do, and
not by any stretch.
It'll be one of those situations where the powers that be at Cake they'll probably regret that, because she's great at what she does. But just saying this, like, and I can only speak from my own perception. I think Annette has the capability to be bigger than Cake. Because when I found out she got fired from Cake, my initial response to Ricky was, well, who watches cable television anymore? You know what I mean? Like Annette online could be nationwide huge. You know what I mean? Like she's good at what she does, and while she is at Cake, you basically have to live in her local area, have cable. All you have to go find Cake. Back in the day, that you only had a few choices, but it's not back in the day anymore. And all Annette Lawless has to do is get online somewhere, and the people will, if you build it, they will come. So I do think Cake's going to regret that one.
I can tell you, since she made the announcement that she was being let go from Cake on her Facebook and stuff, people have been commenting like crazy that, well, we're done watching Cake. We're not watching Cake anymore. We'll find some other news stores to watch, but we're not watching Cake. We're done.
Yeah.
So they've made a lot of people upset. Let me tell you what. Maybe she'll be a new Nancy Grace. That'd be cool. All right. So now we're talking about Shelby McDaniel. I just recently added that center photo. I had a different one there, and I actually just added that one because it was sent to me, and I was asked to add that. So she's missing from Kansas City, Kansas since March 26, 2024. She was 16 when she went missing. She's now 17. She's 5'5", 164 pounds, blonde or white hair, and blue eyes. She does have ties to Crestline, Kansas, Columbus, Kansas, Oklahoma, and Arkansas. Again, at the time of her disappearance, she was 16. She's now 17. She's 5'5", weighs 164 pounds, has blonde or white hair and blue eyes. If you have any information regarding Shelby's disappearance or you know her whereabouts, please call the Kansas City, Kansas Police Department at 913-596-3000 or the KBI at 785-296-4017. And see if we can't get Shelby located and back to where she needs to be. Yeah, it was Engelbert, Chance Engelbert. That's it.
Yeah.
Thank you. Yeah. Thank you, Dennis. Thank you, Chris.
I was trying to remember.
I knew it was Engel something, but I couldn't nail down the Bert part. But yeah, Dennis will be up there looking for him, and he's got other searches planned around the area and stuff too. So he's gonna be keeping himself pretty busy doing searches.
Yeah.
So.
Oh, sorry, I hurt myself.
Not supposed to do that.
I'm a klutz.
Ariana Gracie Sanchez. This was one that she had been located and immediately went missing again. So got the flyer rolling again. She's missing from Hutchinson, Kansas since July 16th of 2024. She's 15. She's 5'2", 115 pounds, dark brown hair and brown eyes. She left on foot from her friend's house and told family that another friend was bringing her home. She never arrived at home, and it's believed she could still be in Hutchinson or in the Wichita, Kansas areas. She's 15 years old, 5'2", 115 pounds, dark brown hair with blonde highlights and brown eyes. She has a snake tattoo on her collarbone, a tattoo with a feather and some words on the inside of her arm, back tattoo with flowers, and a moon that covers her entire back. And she has her belly button pierced. She was last known to be wearing a crop top and ripped jeans. Now that center picture, you can see that snake tattoo coming over her shoulder there. She's last known to be. Okay, we talked about that. If you have any information regarding Ariana's disappearance, you know her whereabouts, please call the Hutchinson, Kansas Police Department at 620-694-2800 or 620-694-2816 or the KBI at 785-296-4017 and see if we can't get Ariana located again and back to where she needs to be.
I just took a phone call from my contact with the AJ Perez case.
Yeah.
So he said really the only information there is available is there's going to be preliminary hearings on August 8th, 9th, and 12th. I'm going to see if I'm going to try to go to those. And basically what he said is the reason there's 3 dates set for a preliminary hearing is that this guy has multiple charges against him, and he said way more than with anything to do with AJ. He said AJ's case is a part of it, but it sounds like this guy's in a lot of trouble, and a lot of the stuff they're going to cover in those 3 days, he says, has nothing to do with AJ.
Wow. Hopefully, if you do go, you can bring us back some good information.
I'll try to be there for sure.
Okay.
It'll probably be in Garden City, I'm guessing.
Yeah, I would think.
Yeah, that was one of the. Yeah, my brother says Buddha Cake TV. Yeah, I'm just really blown away by the whole darn thing. I gotta admit, I just don't get it. I mean, somebody that is winning awards for your station, and doing such great things with missing in Kansas and stuff, and they want to. I don't get it. It just blows my mind. Anyway, this is Kimberly Barnes, missing from Hutchinson, Kansas since June 28, 2024. She's 57, 5'8", 210 pounds, blonde and gray hair, brown eyes. She is bipolar and schizophrenic and has been without her medication. She also does suffer from substance abuse issues, and she's not stable to be out on her own. And she does not have any money with her. And she's 57, 5'8", 210 pounds, blonde and gray hair and brown eyes. She does sometimes wear glasses. If you have any information regarding Kimberly's disappearance, you know her whereabouts, please call the Hutchinson, Kansas Police Department at 620-694-2800 or the KBI at 785-296-4017 and see if we can't get Kimberly located and back to where she needs to be.
Me and Hope have mental health issues. I want to just take off all the time. Have you ever taken off, Hope? Just like,
I have.
yeah.
I mean, I didn't go very far because I'm kind of a coward when it comes to
But
that.
I mean, anytime you cut off contact with everybody, it's worrisome,
It is, I never really cut contact to somebody, always knew where I was at. But, I got in some trouble and I did 14 months in an Oklahoma prison, and my family had no clue where I was at. None. And I didn't know how to get a hold of them. And, they've all told me that they were worried sick until I got a hold of them. So I can only imagine, having somebody just out on the street somewhere.
Yeah. Anytime Ricky reads a flyer and then I see like bipolar disorder, like it just kind of hurts a little bit. I'm like, yeah, I want to run off sometimes too.
Yeah, my older daughter deals with that too. One of many things she deals with.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oops.
This is one that I just updated the other day. I had a different version that was not something I was fond of, so I redid it. But this is Diana Louise Sibley. It's an unsolved homicide from July 20th, 2009, Beloit, Kansas. Diana was found unconscious and non-responsive in the alley of the 100 block of South Mill in Beloit on July 18th, 2009, after she was run over between midnight and 2:11 in the morning. Sibley died that following Monday on the 20th at St. Francis Via Christi in Wichita. She had been at Beloit's Eagle Club, where she'd been a longtime bartender. She was not working that night. As she was leaving Saturday morning, she was believed to have been struck by a large vehicle. The vehicle completely ran over the top of her. One side of her ribs were shattered. The other ribs were broken. She had a broken arm, broken collarbone, punctured lungs, internal bleeding, and lacerations. She had made it all the way through till about 8 o'clock Monday morning, and then she passed away. If you have any information regarding Diana's death, please call the Beloit, Kansas Police Department at 785-738-2203 or the KBI at 1-800-572-7463. And see if we can help find out who did this to her and get some justice for her and her family.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah.
And the person that hit her, I can only imagine the guilt and stuff that he or she may be feeling. I mean,
right.
It's a two-way street there. You got the family of the one, and family and the person of the other, and it's just a bad deal all the way around. My daughter turned 21 today, and this is her first time of being able to go out into a bar, and I'm sitting here. That's the reason why I'm kind of quiet. I've got a lot of things going on, but I'm worried about her. And it's her and my best friend's daughter. They both turned 21 this month. So they're celebrating. And
Mm.
I'm just in here just running scenarios through my head. Candy Perez says, I'll keep you updated on the case as things happen.
Yep. Thank you, Candy. Appreciate it.
Thank you, Candy.
And this is one that I just did the other day. Yeah, there it is. Okay, Geneva Vernil Adams missing from, boy, I don't know if I can say this one right. Herculaneum, Missouri. I hope I said that right. Since July 25th of 1976. So it'll be an anniversary of her disappearance tomorrow, actually.
Oh,
She was
wow.
53 when she went missing. She would now be 101. 5 foot to 5'2", 110 to 120 pounds, brown hair, browner hazel eyes. She was last seen at the Artesian Lounge in Herculaneum, Missouri on July 25th, 1976. She asked her daughter to drive her there so she could meet Jimmy Lee Mills, the man she'd met earlier, who was a regular patron of the bar. At the bar, Adams danced with Mills and appeared to be very happy. Mills offered to drive her home. She's never been heard from again. Mills later said he left at closing time and said that he went to an after-hours bar in East St. Louis, Missouri, but it was closed, and he dropped her off at a donut shop on Highway 61 in Crystal City, Missouri at 4 o'clock in the morning. And I forgot to take that line out. Mills was convicted of attempted rape and released from prison in 1975, a year before Adams disappeared. At the time she went missing, he was out on bail awaiting trial for the rape of a teenage girl. He was convicted and received probation and a suspended sentence in that case. He later had later convictions for receiving stolen property, escape, and being a felon in possession of a firearm. Geneva was last known to be wearing a blue tank top with a design on the front, blue pants made of thin material, and possibly a ring with 2 green heart-shaped stones. Geneva may have a scar on her abdomen from gallbladder surgery. If you have any information regarding Geneva's disappearance, you know her whereabouts, please call the Herculaneum, Missouri Police Department at 636-797-5562 or 636-479-4791, or the Jefferson County, Missouri Sheriff's Office at 636-797-5000, or the Missouri State Highway Patrol at 573-526-6178 or 866-362-6422. And see if we can't get Geneva located and back to where she needs to be.
Wow. That was a long time ago.
And Anthony's asking, is Cole brings plenty his death not being investigated anymore? I do not know. I haven't heard any more on him, so I'm not sure.
Yeah, it was all over TikTok there for a while, and I haven't seen anything for a few months.
Yeah. And this is another one I made the same night I made Geneva's. This is an interesting one, too. Judy Tulane Wardrep missing from Bethany, Missouri since December 10th, 1984. She was 29 when she was missing. She would now be 68. 5'4", 110 pounds. Sandy light brown hair, brown eyes. She was last seen at her job at the Bethany Motel in Bethany, Missouri at noon. She goes by her middle name, Tulane, by the way. Bethany Motel was her family's business, founded by her father. She went there for her shift that morning, bringing her dog, a Lhasa Apso named Moppet, which is pictured above. Judy's sister was in Kansas City, Missouri that day. When she returned to the motel that evening to start her shift, there was no sign of Judy anywhere. This was uncharacteristic of Judy. She and her sister were the only employees at the motel and spent most of their time running it. And Judy was responsible and wouldn't have left the motel unattended for an extended time period. The only sign of Judy was a cup of coffee in one of the rooms which Judy had been cleaning. The television in that room was also on. Judy's sister called the police, who began a search, but nothing turned up. None of the motel's guests reported seeing or hearing anything unusual that day. Judy's dog Moppet disappeared with her, but she left behind her purse, her identification, her money, her clothing, and jewelry. Judy does wear prescription eyeglasses, and she talks with a lisp. If you have any information regarding Judy's disappearance, you know of her and Moppet's whereabouts, please call the Harrison County, Missouri Sheriff's Office at 660-425-3199 or the Missouri State Highway Patrol at 573-526-6178 or 866-362-6422. And see if we can't get Judy and Moppet located and back to where they need to be.
Yeah.
That one's an interesting one. After a cup of coffee in the room, the TV on, her and the dog are gone, left all of her stuff behind.
Yeah. It's just, I mean, I could see taking the dog.
Yeah,
I would take mine. So,
right. And this is a new one I just did recently. Alexis Linscheid goes by Alex or Alexandria. She's missing from Wichita, Kansas since July 14th, 2024. She's 15, 5'5", 120 pounds, brown hair. Her eyes are, I'm trying to remember how her mom described that to me, but they're blue-gray. So they're a unique combination of blue and gray is what she said. Don't have a whole lot more than other than she was wearing possibly a black shirt and black pants. So if you have any information regarding Alexis's disappearance, her whereabouts, please call the Wichita, Kansas Police Department at 316-660-9254 or 316-660-9456 or 316-263-6011 or the KBI at 785-296-4017 and see if we can't get Alexis located and back to where she needs to be.
yeah, teenagers it's a fragile age.
Yeah.
And I just want to put it out there, there is helplines for
Sure.
parents, there's helplines for the kids. There's safe places to go. One of the numbers that I'm gonna say every show is 1-800-RUNAWAY, which is 1-800-786-2929.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to go home and you're scared of consequences, whatever they may be, call that number. They can get you where you need to go, and they can let your family know you're all right too. This world is a scary place these days, and being 15 and not being home or in a safe place, you just never know what's going to happen from day to day.
Right. Definitely.
Yeah, I've lived on the streets for just a brief moment, but it was scary. I didn't know what I was going to do.
Right.
And also, Hope, give a quick plug to 988. That's always relevant to anybody who might just feel like running away,
Right. There is a national hotline. It's 988. You can call it from any phone. It doesn't matter, and it'll connect you to somebody that can get you in connection with a counselor or, whatever you need at that moment. We all have days where things are going bad and we just need somebody to talk to and we feel like a burden. So we don't want to burden our friends or our families. Call 988. That's what they're there for. They're there to listen to what you think is a burden and to help you, even if it's just being your soundboard,
Right. And this is another one I just did today. Demia Brown, missing from Wichita, Kansas since July 22nd of 2024. So for a couple days. 14 years old, 5'4", weighs between 130 and 158 pounds, has black hair and brown eyes. She does have blonde and black braids in her hair as well. And she does have a nose ring piercing. She was last known to be wearing a white shirt and black shorts. So if you have any information regarding Demia's disappearance or her whereabouts, please call the Wichita, Kansas Police Department at 316-660-9254 or 316-660-9456 or 316-263-6011 or the KBI at 785-296-4017 and see if we can't get Demia located and back to where she needs to be. So I'd say the center photo is the most accurate as far as her hair right there with the blonde and black braids in it.
Yeah. That's what it looked like.
Yep. I think that's why I put it in the middle.
And I know Derek's mentioned this a few times since I've been on the show, but if you're an adult and you're hiding out a child that's not yours,
Right.
You know, there are consequences for that, and let the law take care of whatever you think you're trying to take care of, because you're not going to help the matter. You're going to intensify it and cause more problems. You know,
Right.
I know what it's like to see a child, and believe a child's in distress and wanting to help them and keep them safe, but you're just putting yourself and your family at risk too.
Yeah. Definitely. And believe it or not, there are people out there that do harbor runaways. I've been told in the past about individuals that pretty much harbor all kinds of runaways in their house. So, I don't know.
Yeah.
Don't know if there's any validity to that or not, but that's just what I was told. This one's Jacob Hamilton. We've done a flyer for him before, but he's missing again. This time missing from Neodesha, Kansas since July 18th of 2024. He's 16. He's 6'3" to 6'4", 180 to 215 pounds, dark brown or black hair and brown eyes. If you have any information regarding Jacob's disappearance, you know his whereabouts, please call the Neodesha, Kansas Police Department at 620-325-3031 or the KBI at 785-296-4017 and see if we can't get Jacob located and back to where he needs to be.
Lots of young people out there.
Yeah, there are. And this one I'm going to cover and I'm going to talk a little bit about. I was talking to her mom the other night and she asked me to talk about a vigil that she is planning for her in St. Louis. And I'll get into that here in just a little bit. As soon as I locate her darn flyer, that's another one I missed. I'm doing good. I'm doing good.
You're not showing your age at all, Ricky. It's fine.
I was gonna say you're finding them faster than I could. I'd be sitting there going, where do I go?
Yeah. Yes, Brianne Miller, missing from St. Louis, Missouri. Since July 26, 2020. She was 21 when she went missing. She would now be 25. She's 5'4", 135 pounds, brown hair, hazel eyes. She was last seen in South St. Louis on Dolores Street. Again, she's 21, now 25. She's 5'4", 135 pounds. It's brown hair that was semi-short on top and shaved on the sides, and hazel eyes. Her tongue and ears are pierced. And you can see she's got quite a few tattoos. A tribal heart tattoo on her right bicep that says love. And a tattoo of the name Rob on the right side of her neck. A tattoo of a heart on the left side of her chest. And a tattoo of two hearts on her upper left thigh. And she was last known to be wearing a pink short sleeve top and white jeans. If you have any information regarding Brianne's disappearance or you know of her whereabouts, please call the St. Louis, Missouri Metropolitan Police Department at 314-231-1212 or Crime Stoppers at 866-371-8477. And I do again want to mention, I'm going to pull this up again real quick here. Let's see. On the 26th of this month, which is Friday. They're going to do a vigil at, let's see if I pronounce this right, Carondelet Park at 7:30 till 9:30, and there will be a balloon release that night as well. Yeah, let me get you an address on that park here. And it's in St. Louis, and it is at 3900 Holly Hills Boulevard in St. Louis is where that's located. So again, it's from 7:30 to 9:30 Friday night. There will be a balloon release that night as well. So if you're in the St. Louis area and you'd like to attend that, I wish I could attend it, but short notice, and I'm not going to be able to make it because I have to work, and it's quite a distance actually. But yeah, see if we can help get her located and back to where she needs to be.
Yeah. July's a busy month, it seems like.
Yeah, I know. Yep, yeah. And this is one that, oh, God. This one that he had been located, and then his mom messaged me and said, hey, He's still missing. And where is this flyer? Maybe go to the market. Okay, it's going to be down here. Let me grab it. I'll be right with you. Trust me. I know what I'm doing. Okay, this is Jaden Weens, missing from Wichita, Kansas, since April 2nd, 2024. He's 14 when he was missing. He's now 15. He's 5'7", 140 pounds, brown hair, brown eyes. He does struggle with mental health issues, and if he is approached or he recognizes someone he knows, he may run. Again, he's 14. He was 14 when he went missing. He's now 15, 5'7", 140 pounds, brown hair and brown eyes. If you have any information regarding Jaden's disappearance, you know his whereabouts, please call the Wichita, Kansas Police Department at 316-660-9254 or 316-660-9456 or 316-263-6011 or the KBI at 785-296-4017 and see if we can't get Jaden located and back to where he needs to be. And I think that might have been the last one, I think, isn't it? Nope, got one more. Willie Combs. Almost forgot about Willie. Doggone. He's missing from Kansas City, Missouri since July 23rd of this year, so since yesterday. He's 74. He's 5'3", 150 pounds, gray hair, brown eyes. He's last seen in the area of East 16th Street and Lawn Avenue in Kansas City, heading in an unknown direction. Does suffer from Alzheimer's and is in need of immediate medical attention. And he's 74. He's 5'3", weighs 150 pounds, has gray hair and brown eyes. He's last known to be wearing an orange shirt, black pants, and black shoes. If you have any information regarding Willie's disappearance or you know his whereabouts, please call 911 immediately or call the Kansas City, Missouri Police Department at 816-234-5043 or 816-234-5111 or Missouri State Highway Patrol at 573-526-6178 or 866-362-6422 and see if we can help get Willie located and back to where he needs to be.
Yeah. Haley Davis.
Oh, yes. Another one from Salina here, the one I went to the vigil to Saturday. It was a very nice vigil, I have to admit. They shared memories. There's a lot of photos of her. Just, a lot of family members hurting and wanting answers. I didn't talk to him, but I did get to see her young son that she does have. Rambunctious little guy. But, Haley's missing from here in Salina since July 21st, 2023. She was 19 when she was missing. She's now 20. She's 5'6" to 5'7", weighs 190 to 200 pounds. Her hair was dyed blonde and she has blue eyes. She left with Salina, Kansas with a male acquaintance to go to Wichita. Her last activity on social media, and she was last heard from on July 21st. I think in the time of her disappearance, she was 19. She's now 20. She's 5'6" to 5'7", and weighs between 190 and 200 pounds. Her hair was last known to be dyed bleach blonde, and she has blue eyes. If you have any information regarding Haley's disappearance, you know her whereabouts, please call the Salina, Kansas Police Department at 785-826-7210, or call Crime Stoppers at 785-825-8477, or text SA Tips to Crimes, which is 274-637. Or visit www.pd.salina.org and follow the Crime Stoppers link to submit a tip. Or you can call the Wichita, Kansas Police Department at 316-268-4181 or 316-268-4407 or 316-263-6011. Or you can call KBI at 785-296-4017 and see if we can't get Haley located and back home to where she needs to be.
Get her back home to that rambunctious boy of hers.
Yeah, he's a cute little guy. I got to tell you. I'd say that was it was a nice little vigil. A lot of emotions, a lot of tears. A lot of hurting. People wanting her brought home.
Yeah.
Hopefully, we can help make that happen.
Absolutely. That would be a blessing.
It would be.
Do you know if there's any Facebook pages that are dedicated to her case?
Not that I've seen yet. I don't know if Travis is planning on doing anything with one or not. I talked to him about that.
Yeah. Well, Travis, if you see this, reach out to us at the Back Home Media side, and we can help you out. I'm going to get Hope a new pen because she She keeps playing with hers. Here you go.
I've been seeing him pop up in the comments. Just don't know if he's watching tonight or not.
A lot of people watch this show afterwards, which, by the way, I
Yeah.
sent Hope the numbers in the last 28 days. Ricky's page reached 1.3 or 1.4 million.
It's like at 1.30 million right now.
Yeah, so every 20
That's
this last
crazy.
28 days, and again, Ricky didn't do that. Ricky made the flyers, but all of you that watch this show on the replay, that share the flyers, it's because of you. So give yourself a pat on the back. Everybody that clicks share on this page or watches this, you're a part of that.
Thank
Yeah.
you. Thank you.
Brag about it. Tell your friends, hey, I'm a part of a
Thank you.
podcast that has a bunch of listeners, because you're a part of it. You watch it, you share it, you're
Mhm.
a part of the show.
Yeah. And thank you to all the followers, all the page likes, all the flyer shares, the show views, the show shares. Thank you to everybody for that. Because we wouldn't be reaching as many people as we were reaching without you guys. So thank everybody. And keep it going.
Absolutely.
Like I said, stay tuned. Might be some surprises coming up.
Maybe.
We'll see.
Was that the last flyer?
I think
I
it
think
might have been.
Okay.
Yeah, I
Alright.
think it might have been.
Are we good for 9 p.m. next Wednesday?
Yeah, I think I'm off again next Wednesday, so I think we're good to go for that time.
Okay.
Tell you, I don't know what a day off is. Let me tell you what. Because even before I do the show, I gotta get everything ready for the show, and then I got stuff at home I got to do and get done, so I can get it
absolutely.
squared before the show and everything. Let's see here. Yep, I'm off on July 31st. So
Ricky, are you one of those people that goes to work to relax?
I wish. I'm even running my legs off at work half the time.
Yeah.
Like, man,
So
oh, man,
July
they keep going.
31st, you said?
Yeah.
Yeah, July
July-
31st would be next
Go
week.
ahead.
I was just thinking tonight's my oldest daughter's birthday, and then next week's going to be my youngest daughter's
Oh,
birthday
wow.
when we do the show. So,
Right.
Well, if you get sucked into a party, it's no problem. But yeah,
okay.
we will be here the 31st at 9 p.m. Everybody follow Ricky on YouTube. He's also, if you're watching on YouTube, follow him over on Facebook, Kansas Missing and Unsolved. And then give Hope a follow at 7 Day Circle on Facebook.
Yes.
I just posted a video, Ricky, on the 7 Day Circle page. It's a little
Okay.
commercial for the 1-800 Runaway. So if you want to share that
Okay.
on the KMU page,
Cool.
Hope does a podcast every every Sunday night at 9 p.m. and they record live as
Okay.
well. So yeah. So if
Right.
there's anything you have to add, Ricky, or shout out, other than that, you know how to get us out of here. And we love everybody that watches the show, and we
Right.
appreciate you.
Yes. Thank
The only
you.
thing I really want to add is the Kansas Missing and Unsolved YouTube is actually under my name, Ricky Chabruggi - Kansas Missing and Unsolved. I couldn't figure out how to get my name out of there, so I just had to add the - Kansas Missing and Unsolved to it. So that's what the YouTube is under. And
Get
it
with me
seems
this week
like-
on a video chat, and I'll help you fix that.
Oh, okay. Okay, cool. But other than that, I don't think I have much else to add. Just, again, thank you guys for all the flyer shares, the page shares, the show shares, the page likes, the followers. I mean, like I said, without all that help, we couldn't be reaching as many people as we are. And I want to, and I've really been impressed with the amount of shares on the flyers and the amount of followers that keep picking up every day. And it's just, it blows my mind. I've said it before, just shows you what God can do when he's at work. I've said it many times
Absolutely.
that he guides this thing and directs this thing. I'm just the fingers on the keyboard. That's all it is.
Just faces on Facebook.
Yep. But with that being said, Heavenly Father, thank you for bringing us together tonight to cover these cases and really pray, and hopefully we can bring some of these folks home and preferably safe, but we know not every instance is going to be that way, sadly. But just, let's help them bring them home. And until we see each other next week, everybody stay safe. God bless. Take care. And amen.
Amen.